video about the Bitcoin and altcoin markets. It is, what is it? Sunday, Monday, May the 12th anyway. Yeah, I guess Monday, May the 12th, 2025. And what is happening in the Bitcoin and altcoin markets? Well, for one thing, Bitcoin on the 4-hour mean reverted to the 3012 RMLR, just as predicted by the RMLRs. When I told you the probability was higher, it would complete that mean reversion before hitting that third band to the upside again. Once again, the RMLRs proved to be correct. Yes, Bitcoin ran up nicely to like 105K. You didn't take your profits. Of the the 4-hour candle that ended a little over 4 hours ago. So 2 candles ago now. And we see mean reversion still in progress. And of course, the mean reversion that completed on Bitcoin is not the only one. There are others completed as well. If you monitor the charts in crypto, you'll see that those mean reversions on the 4-hour, which were in progress since last week after that nice little run up we had. It's one to complete, at least it did when I last looked at my screen about hour ago, whenever it was, when I was looking at that particular chart, I mean. And bonk also was still in progress. It's got to drop down. Like if you look at the 1000 bonk chart, it's got to go down from about 0.022 and change down to about 0.20 and change. So I think it's like a 6.85% drop the last I looked at it at the beginning of this new 4-hour candle. Could easily have hit it by within another couple of candles, when that RMLR line will be moving precipitously to the upside, and the mean reversion will just happen, anywhere on a video today, I think it was, from somebody was saying, you have bonks ripping. The time the RMLR was down around 0.020, the rise again. And he was like, there's a head and shoulders pattern. It's gonna, this is traditional TA people. If they want to trade that way, they certainly can, but they're using lagging information and chart art silliness instead of using leading information, which is what the VEPS gives you. It gives you a measurable, calculable edge. You can believe markets move according to patterns all you want, but they don't, right? Markets are random the overwhelming majority of the time. The only time they're not is when they're in a trending move. And the only way you'll know that is by looking at something like our entropy indicator. It indicates to you a move when the absolute majority of the time, or such a significant portion of the time that they're completely unreliable. If you tell me that your pattern thing works 60% of the time, that's not reliable. That's just not reliable, okay? Like the difference between traditional TA and Alpha Trading's VEPS calculators is our calculators work 100% of the time. Does geometric Brownian motion happen? Yes. Do surprises happen, like unexpected things? Yes, because of the probabilities and because of randomness. And in crypto, which is an especially volatile market, an asset class, you definitely get moves that, beat the probabilities sometimes. And that's great, actually, right? Like, it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens. A random walk or a trending move. So you have a very good idea of when things are moving randomly and when they're not. And that's exactly why people who trade the VEPs properly are not surprised when assets move a certain way, right? Up or down or side. I don't care about silly support and resistance lines and Fibonacci's and golden pockets and silly things like that have nothing to do with how markets actually move. Okay. So, and if you look at Bonk, it has dropped a lot from the top earlier today, right? When it was up at like point. To lost already more than 20%. Using 5x, they've lost more than half their capital. If they're using 10x, they're wrecked, right? If they didn't put, who am I to stop them? No one. I'm just telling you what was very obvious is that the mean reversions on Bitcoin and other assets were very obviously going to complete, and they it'll hit an outer a few times with big spaces in between them. All it does, and you can see it very clearly when I tell you, if it's going to do that, it's probably just going to touch that band and pull back, or it won't even touch it. Not things to be surprised by. That's why I always say front run those profit areas. Probably not going to hit those bands. more it does those extreme outlier things, the more probable it is to complete those mean reversions. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. Happy trading. Peace.